What's going on, you guys? Happy Father's Day weekend. This is my first Father's Day weekend with my daughter here. So shout out to my daughter Layla. Made me a father. What? Shout out to all the fathers that's watching this. As you can see from the title of this video, I'm about to give you guys a way to retire your father early. Now this is a guaranteed way. It does take time, but look, with time comes greatness, okay? So make sure you stay locked in. Stay all the way to the end of the video. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And send this to somebody who wants to retire their dad, man. Us dads, we're lit. We're the reason why you're here. So you should want to retire us. So let's get started with the episode. Welcome back, guys, and I'm so happy to have you guys back for Father's Day weekend. This is a very special weekend for every father in the world because we get celebrated for all of the work that we do throughout the year, loving to our dearing children. So I'm going to give you guys a way on how you can retire your dad early. Now, this is a guaranteed way. It's made millionaires, it's made billionaires, and people who are rich have this as almost like an emergency fund. This is their emergency fund. So the guaranteed way for you to retire your dad early is to open up a dividend account for him. Now, a lot of the older people, they don't get into dividend investing, they don't get into the stock market, and you know, it did crash in 2008. Everybody, we're past that. We're here. We're in 2023. It hasn't crashed since then. So open up a dividend account for him, man. A dividend account can guarantee retirement. It can guarantee money coming in on a monthly basis. If you ask me, it's almost like setting up a pension for him early. Maybe setting up certain people who are older get SSI or they get Social Security. Other different ways that are paid to them for life. And this is another form of money that can be paid to you for the whole time that you're living. And it can also be passed down to your kids. So open up a dividend account for him. I'm going to go into what dividends are now so you can fully understand what you're putting your money into, why it requires so much capital, and how they pay you monthly and how they pay you for the rest of your life. So let's get straight into it. All right, you guys, so you're probably, if you know nothing about the stock market or even anything about dividends, you're probably asking me, well, what is a dividend? Like, what is this thing, Guppie? So I'm going to break it down for you right now for the people that don't know, and for ones that do know, put it into the comments so we know that you know what a dividend stock is and that you have one and that you're happy to have one. So I actually wrote down a definition for you guys so we can get it right. A dividend stock is a publicly traded company that regularly shares profits with shareholders through dividends. So what this means is a company makes profits every month. Obviously, businesses, this is what they do. Walmart, Target, AT&T, IBM, Sony, anything that you could possibly think of. They are a business, especially if they're publicly traded. They probably have a dividend if they're an old enough company. And the way that they pay you is for having money with them to allow them to grow their company. So basically, they take the money that you give them and they put it into their company to make their company grow. And the money that they make profit-wise, they share with their stockholders at a certain yield. It could be like 6%, 3%. Apple's at 0.7, so Apple, please rise your dividend yield, please. Let me just get 2%. But anyway, we're getting back onto the topic. And that's how they pay you. So all you have to do is have your money with them and they will pay you for the rest of your life. To make it as simple as possible for you, that's basically what you're doing. You're putting your money into an account, into a company, allowing them to use your money to reinvest inside of their company, and the profits that they make, they share with you. Dividend account, easy. Why doesn't everybody have one set up? Lord knows, I don't know. Why you should have one set up? You should have one set up because it's going to make you a millionaire. It's going to help you retire early. It's going to give you guaranteed money that you know is going to be coming to you every single month. Those are just 3 different ways. But let me give you guys my top 5 picks if you would like to get started in dividend investing. I encourage everybody who isn't to get into it, and the ones who are into it to stick with it because it can change your life, and it's changed many people's lives The best example of dividend investing is Warren Buffett. He's been dividend investing in Coca-Cola since God knows when, and he's one of the richest men in the world, and he loves dividend investing because you have to do no work after you put the money in. So as soon as your money is invested in with the company, they automatically pay you, and your balance can grow if you allow your dividends to reinvest. Allowing your dividends to reinvest just means that you're taking the payment that they give to you, either on a monthly, quarterly, or annual basis, and you're putting it back into the stock so that the company can use that money to reinvest inside of their company so that they can get bigger profits so you can make more money. Simple. So let's get into my top 5 picks on the dividends you should be buying today and holding forever. Let's go. So let's get into my top 5 picks that you can buy today, put into your dad's account, and he will instantly start making money from day one. Now, these are my top 5 favorites. I give these to anybody who is looking to get in and wants to get a good return and just looking for that generational wealth money that will come to you guaranteed. So let's start the first one. I'm starting with ETFs because ETFs are the lowest risk that you can get inside of the stock market. Lowest risk meaning your money will definitely be returned. Okay, it's not a company, it's not like it's an individual stock, it's not like it's a growth stock. This is an ETF is a collective of stocks put together, and when a stock does bad, it's swapped out with another good stock, and that's how it keeps the ETF growing for years and years and years. The easiest way you could think of this is like the S&P 500, and I believe the NASDAQ is like another ETF. They basically have all of the top companies in the world all inside of one stock, and when one does bad, they take it out and put another one in that is performing well, and that's the ETF. So that's what the ETF is. I definitely think it's a must buy if you're a dividend investor because, again, it's low risk, high reward, something that we all want in life. So let's get started in with the first one, which is VOO. VOO is a big one for me. Vanguard does an amazing job with their ETFs. They have a whole bunch of others that we can go into another video. Again, if you want a video strictly on Vanguard ETFs, put it into the comments. But VOO is my top favorite. It does great returns. They have some great stocks in there, including like Apple, AT&T, a whole bunch of other stocks. And they're very profitable. This is something that we're looking for when we're dividend investing. We want to stay with a stock that's going to guaranteed bring us money from here until we gone. So VOO is definitely something that you should be investing into because it will guarantee you a return and it will grow your account. So this is something that you want when you're dividend investing. So VOO is my first pick. Definitely buy it. Definitely grab it. Do your research on the stocks that are inside of VOO, and I guarantee that you'll be impressed and you'll be ready to buy. So going into my second pick, I got SCHD. This is another ETF. I forgot what the S is right now. Put it into the comments if you know. We're not going to go to a full breakdown. We're just going to go into what it is. It's basically a stock that holds the top 100 companies in the world with a high dividend yield. That's the basic breakdown of what SCHD is. Now, to break that down into further terms, they're taking the top 100 companies that have a dividend yield, a high one at that, and they're putting it all into one stock for you to be able to have. So if that don't sell you, I mean, I don't know what will. If you don't know what a dividend yield is the percentage of how much they pay you out depending on how much money you have with them. So the higher the dividend yield, the more that you'll get paid. The lower the dividend yield, the less that you'll get paid. And it'll take more to get a bigger amount if it's a lower dividend yield, and it'll take less with a higher dividend yield for you to get a maximum payout. So SCHD is definitely a pick for me because they're picking 100 of the top highest dividend yield companies, which is super important. So I believe their dividend yield is around like 2 to 3%. I can research that and put it into this video for you, the correct one. But definitely a top 5 pick for me if you ask me. It's again another low risk, high reward. It's an ETF. top 100 companies. Like, come on, out of 100 companies, you think all 100 high yield, top performing companies, you think they all gonna fail? So just put it into that terms when you're investing. Think about it as this is something that's going to guarantee come my way. So let me be smart and invest inside of it. Moving on to my third pick, ExxonMobil. If you ask me, ExxonMobil has an excellent dividend yield. They've been paying out customers for over 50 years. ExxonMobil is literally everywhere in the country. No matter where you go, you can find an ExxonMobil station. And to me, they're one of the OGs inside of the gas game, and they're not going anywhere. When you see a gas station and you see ExxonMobil, you go there because you're familiar with it, because you know they've been around for years, because you know they're going to give you good gas without putting water in your gas. Like, again, there's just a whole lot of benefits that come in with this company that to me is a win-win. You should have money invested in with them. But the highest thing for me is the dividend yield is very, very high. Most gas stations, their dividend yields are high. So that's something to look out for. Again, when you're driving on the road and you see an ExxonMobil station, you're going to be thinking, damn, I should have some money with y'all because y'all pay out some great dividends. Changed your whole way of thinking, didn't I? So that's my third pick for you guys, ExxonMobil. Make sure you go research it. All of these picks, I wish for you to go do your own research because things change by the time you're watching this video. The dividend yields can change. Anything could change. Even the stocks inside of the ETFs can be switched out again if they're doing bad performance-wise. You'll see the new companies inside of there and you'll be able to do your research on them. So going into the fourth stock, IBM. Now, IBM is a great pick for me because, one, they've been in business for over 130 years. IBM is in most Android phones, they're in most computers, they're in most tablets. I believe even iPhone has an IBM processor. You can double check me on that. But again, what I'm saying is IBM is everywhere, anywhere technology is. They are one of the top dogs inside of the technology sector, and you want to have money invested in with them. Their dividends grow every couple of years. Their dividend yield is high. To me, it's just a guaranteed pick. You're guaranteed going to make money. And again, IBM is everywhere. So I don't think they're going out of business anytime soon. So another great pick for me. I feel like this is a definite way for you to retire your dad early by giving him 4 solid picks of companies that are strong, are going to be around for a very long time, and that pay out very good. We're moving on to our last stock, man. Our last pick for me, they're in the media. They've been around for years. They've innovated the cell phone game. And the company that I'm talking about is AT&T. So AT&T is another great dividend stock. They have a great dividend yield. They sponsor the NBA. Come on, they're on national TV. You always see AT&T everywhere. If their competitors aren't talking about them, then they have a commercial running, or they're partnering up with somebody, they're sponsoring an event. AT&T knows how to get their name out there and how to stay relevant. They're partnering up with Google, with the Google phones, giving away free Google phones. Like, it's just a whole bunch that they're doing that will keep them relevant, that will keep them inside of the cell phone game forever. And their coverage map is very good. So I don't, again, see AT&T going out of business. AT&T has been in business for a very long time also. So these are 5 picks, if you ask me. They're high dividend yields. They're guaranteed payouts. They're, to me, low risk, high reward. ExxonMobil isn't going anywhere. When you think about ExxonMobil, you think about gas. People are still driving gas cars. Electric cars hasn't fully taken over yet. When you think about AT&T, people need cell phones. Not everybody's going to go with T-Mobile. Not everybody's going to go with Verizon. Not everybody's going to go with Sprint. So that still leaves a large catalog for AT&T to thrive and to continue building. IBM being inside of every single computer, every single technology thing in the world, I don't see them going out of business. That's all I needed to know. And then the 2 ETFs to me are a no-brainer because they're low risk, high reward. why wouldn't you want to put your money inside of an ETF? If anything, an ETF is way more safer than investing inside of a company. So when you're investing inside of a company, make sure it's a company that you know. And the 3 companies that I gave you, IBM, ExxonMobil, and AT&T, are all companies that you're familiar with and you know are going to be around for a very long time. So let's go into an amount you would need for him to be fully retired. Let's get straight into it. Now, here's the thing about dividend stocks, and I'm going to be honest with you. Dividend stocks is a long-term gain. It's a generational wealth thing. It's not you put a bunch of money in an account and you'll be rich tomorrow. If you're putting a high amount into an account, you can be rich tomorrow. But again, the returns are different than the money invested. I'll say that for sure. So let's say you wanted to retire your dad early. How much money would you need? How much money would I have to put into an account for him to officially stop working today? I'm about to give you guys the answer right now. So this is on the low end. Again, I'm talking to my future millionaires. So this amount of money that we're talking about is going to be nothing for us because we're going to be spending this on cars and boats and other miscellaneous things that we really don't need, and we should be putting this out of a dividend account for other people. But we're going to be spending it anyway because we got millions of dollars coming in. So if you would like to retire your dad early, on the average income inside of America is about $40,000. I'm talking about from low class to middle class, living, you have a house, you have a car, your bills are paid, you're living good, you're retired basically. Even people on SSI, they get an average of $2,000 a month. So you'll be getting more than you get on SSI, and people live off SSI forever. So you would need $650,000 in a dividend account with a dividend yield of 6%. Now, how much money is this every year, Cuddy? Let's talk about it. So you would start off making $39,000 a year. That's $3,200 a month. Now, to everybody who thinks, so I got $650,000 and I'm only making $40,000 a year. Let me get into it, okay? Again, talking to my future millionaires. This money is nothing for us. This is what you should have put aside in case everything goes down. So, $40,000 a year, $3,000 a month. The average person doesn't even make that. So you being able to give that to somebody and to say, all you have to do is never touch this $650,000. And this $40,000 a year is going to come to you guaranteed without you having to do anything, is the biggest flex you could give to somebody. Let me say that again. You being able to tell somebody, all you have to do is keep this money in this account and only spend the payments that come your way every month. And you have to do nothing for the rest of your life, is the biggest flex you could give to somebody. That's why dividend investing is a long-term game, because you actively don't have to do anything once you have a certain capital in there. So that's the biggest thing about dividend investing, is the little passive income part of it. I'm getting passive income because I chose to take my $650,000 and not buy a house, not buy a boat, not buy a chain, but put it into an account, and now I have $40,000 coming to me. Guaranteed, whether I want to go do that show, whether I want to go make a YouTube video, whether I want to do anything, this money is coming to me on a guaranteed basis. Now let's get deeper. So in 10 years, if you totally invest that $40,000 every year, you could hit $1 million in 10 years. Now again, if you work a job for 40 years and you never touch $1 million, and I told you I could give you an account and in 10 years you'll touch $1 million, that sounds way better, doesn't it? Waiting 10 years to reach $1 million versus working 40 years and never touching $1 million. Come on now. So now you're with me. Now let's go into, let's say your dad has something nice, okay? He's got a nice little construction job, or he likes his job. He likes what he does because he likes to remain active. If your dad wants to reinvest single penny and never touch the principal, he could be making over $100,000 a year in 9 years. So you started at $650,000, making 40 grand a year. You let that 40 grand reinvest itself. In 9 years, you're now making $100,000 a year. Again, you're not doing anything. You're allowing these payments to go back into the company and reinvest itself. To me, I'm giving y'all free game. This is like, when you tell me these kind of numbers, it's like, well, let's see, would I rather work for 30 years? Or would I rather just put my money in an account, let it grow, and then in 10 years, I'll be making more than I've ever made at any job, and I can be chilling. And I don't have to pull up to work. I don't have to worry about bills. I don't have to worry about anything. So going back here, let's say you live off of half the income. So $40,000 a year, you're living off of $1,700 a month, and you're able to orchestrate the rest of the money on your own. And you're allowing the rest of the money to reinvest itself. You'll see $1 million within 15 to 17 years. Now again, dividend investing is a long-term gain. If you think about it, most people work for 15 to 17 years. So imagine having to live off of $1,700 a month for 15 to 17 years, and you'll be a millionaire. And you don't have to work a job. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is keep existing and live off of $1,700 a month while making your little, you could do your DoorDashes, your Uber Eats, whatever you want to do for your extra money. But this is the real literal sense of learning how to live below your means and being able to maximize from it. And you always have to think about that. What you're creating a space not only for you, not only for the person you're giving this account for, but they can pass it down to other people, and they already have this capital in there. So they can literally give $3,200 a month to somebody else, or $6,000 a month, or even $10,000 a month to somebody else. So let's get into this. Now let's talk about numbers. So let's say your dad is 50. Okay, let's say your dad's 50. You gave him the account. He wants to live off of half of it, and he still wants to be a millionaire. Okay? He'll be a millionaire by the age of 65. So he's 50 right now. By the age of 65, he'll be a millionaire. He'll be making $100,000 a year. He'll be a millionaire, and he'll be able to retire. He'll definitely be able. You should be able to retire off of $100,000 a year. A lot of people retire off of $50,000 a year. So imagine making $100,000 a year because you lived off of $1,700 a month, plus whatever money you wanted to bring in. But this $1,700 is coming in every top of the month. Then let's say he's 45, you'll make him a millionaire by 60. So these sound like long-term things, like, would I want to be a millionaire by 60? But you also have to put in the amount of work you're doing. You're letting your money reinvest itself, and you just wake up every day. Wow, that was pretty easy. A lot of people go to work for 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week, 50 hours a week to be able to make $3,200 a month. That's $1,700 every 2 weeks. Unless you're in a good career and a good job, but again, that good job and that good career is going to come to an end someday. So you want to make sure you have something on your plate that will be guaranteed to you for life, and something you can pass down to your children. The thing about a good job or a good career is that you can't pass it down to your kids. And I mean, after retirement, it's like you're not making the amount of money that you were making when you were working. You're making maybe half of that, which is probably going to equal around $3,200 a month anyway. So you got to know what you're signing up for, and you got to know how you're spending your money. Dividend stocks, man, they're a great way to retire your dad early, and you could start however you want to start. The example that I showed to you was just something of the bare minimum. If you wanted to retire somebody, this is how much they would make, this is how much it would take, and this is where they can go if they lived inside of these means, and that's how that would go. So you can obviously change it depending on your situation. If you're making $10 million a year. You can easily give somebody a $1 million dividend account. They would be able to live off $100,000 a year and never ask you for a penny. And they're guaranteed getting $100,000 coming their way every single year. But everybody's situation is different, so results are going to vary depending on how much you want to invest. But definitely dive into dividend investing, man. It's a way you can retire yourself, and it's a way you can retire your family for sure. So it's another amazing video. Happy Father's Day to all of my fathers. This is my first Father's Day, and I'm going to be celebrated with my daughter, with my wife, and we're going to be talking about dividend stocks because I don't want no gifts, okay? I want some money so I can put it into my dividend account. So that's all I got for you guys today. Cuddy from Cuddy TV, another jam-packed episode. Make sure you go listen to my podcast, Still Trapping Legally, episode 1. I talk about stocks if you're interested in learning more. Definitely a lot of good information in there that could teach you all about dividend stocks, growth stocks, and everything else that you're looking to invest in, man. Get into the stock market today. It will only benefit your future. We spend money so carelessly throughout our days, throughout our life, that if we would have sectioned just a little bit of that money and put it into a stock account, we'd be living 10 times better. So take the game from me and use it however you would like to, but make sure you apply and use the game. Again, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe if you made it all the way to the end. You are a GOAT. Welcome to the family. You're officially a member. We love you. So subscribe so you can really be a member. And I'm Cuddy from Cuddy TV, and that's all I got for you guys today. I'm gone.